I've written 8 books to date and I'm currently halfway through my 9th. I'm from Singapore. I've been writing since I was 9 years old. I self-published my first book at 13 and traditionally published my second with a small Canadian pub. It was a romantasy adventure novel about 2 witches trying to save their kind in a world that treats magic like a disease. And in this video, I'll be going through my authorship journey, including how I started out, what books I've written, and how it's going. So if you want to know how to start out writing yourself or what publishing is like, you can just follow along. So everything started when I was around 9 years old. This was when I began writing short stories on notebooks. Around this time, I was obsessed with episode, got inspired, and started writing scripts on there. And this is kind of embarrassing to even share, but I wrote 2 stories. They're both discontinued now, horror storylines, but I remember receiving my first ever fan mail there, which was exciting. So then came my first novel, during which point I've started reading in Wattpad, and this was very inspired by what was popular around that time, so billionaire romance and characters in some like abusive household. Not something to advocate, but that was my first book. It was like Aria Garcia, my main character, fleeing this domestically abusive household, then collapsing on the busy streets of Italy, and then being noticed by a pair who just happened to be a billionaire and his doctor mother, who told him, "Get this girl home right now, I'll tend to her." And needless to say, Wattpad loved it. I woke up, I remember, to like thousands of readers, and in a while it climbed to hundreds of thousands, then eventually 1 million. And during this time, a reading app did approach me and was like, "Publish your book on our platform and I'll give you 650. And to my 11-year-old self, this was like a fortune. So I said, just take it. After this, I was high off the numbers. I went off to write my second book, a mafia romance. Oh no. The most typical story you can think of 11 years ago. Character gets rescued off a dingy alleyway by this mafia boss. This one climbed to 50k readers, and I did something I regret to this very day. I deleted it off of my page. I got embarrassed. I was thinking like, time to be serious now, and I was 12. I was like, time to stop all these kiddie stories, but I really could have earned from that. Following that, I wrote Fighting for Hope. It's a YA action and romance book about Hope, a girl driven to revenge after witnessing her father's murder. She trained to fight, kept herself emotionally closed off, until she meets Tyler, who begins breaking through the walls she has built. Typical. I hated this book. Especially now that I'm older and more well-read. Oh my god, I used Wattpad language in a book. I messed up punctuation. It's right here actually. My friends still laugh at me about all the punctuation mistakes in this book. And I genuinely have to like make a whole another video about this because this is too long of a story. It was just a mess. But after finishing writing this book, I thought, what a work of art! A story arc. I've outdone myself. Time to chase my biggest dream. And so that's what I did. I became an official author. I hired editors. I self-published it on Amazon KDP. Following this, I wrote Fighting for Justice, later renamed as Lyra. It's about a girl who was adopted, then personally trained by a crime boss. But you know, at its heart, it's really about identity after trauma, whether someone can return to who they were and become someone new and someone better. I went the online publishing route for this one and then sold the rights to its translated version, so it's currently been made a German book and it's pretty fun. Later, I made $100 from a short, random book I wrote for fun. Writing this really felt like playing a game, sort of. Like, I got as much joy out of it as I would Minecraft. I'll open the dock, write for a few minutes, and then leave. And I finished this in about a month. I didn't go, oh my gosh, ignore me. I didn't go through like what the book was about. So there's this murderer, her name is Raven, and she's like the most sought after murderer in the entire town, city, whatever. She fell in love basically with the person he's supposed to target to get information from. And I thought it was so silly, so I just sold the rights to a random editor. You can really monetize anything. Then I wrote this right here. The Reign of Ruth follows Ruby, also known as the Red Demon, who was born of a ritual aimed at creating the most powerful witch to exist. She's sent on a journey accompanied by Lilith, a seer, a soothsayer, whatever you want to call her, and together they explore a world with hunters, secrets, royalties, and magic to seek peace for their kind. The theme throughout really explores how no battle comes without sacrifice, and I really still adore this book to this day. Though my writing style has changed a bit, after writing it I thought, my god, this is so cute, I want to publish it. So I went on querying and all that. Bumped into a lot of challenges on the way, mainly because of my age. No one wanted to sign a 15-year-old. But then a small publication in Canada took chances on me, bless them. They specialize in queer YA publications and it was so wonderful. They provided me with like a cover designer, so this is by them. They edited my book for me, everything a publisher provides generally. And then when I was 17, it was out. If you're in Singapore, you can get a signed copy. If not, you can get it on Amazon. From then, I rewrote His Fire, my first ever Wattpad book, as Temptation of a Flame. It was really like a unserious revamp following the same characters and the arc, but this time with slightly better writing compared to my baby self. And so far it's gotten 300k readers, I believe, so it's pretty cool. Then its sequel after that, following the daughter of the MC in His Fire. She's an heiress with kleptomaniac tendencies who arranged her own loveless marriage with a business rival because she's that competitive, just to claim his empire when she kills him, but then she falls in love in the process. Honestly, I like this premise, but I would say the later half of this book is very rushed because I was like in a mentally bad place when I wrote that, and it shows. Now I'm writing my 9th book, and without giving too much away, it's like a dark academia fantasy with psychological elements. I'm halfway in, it's still in its first draft. For TROR, which is The Reign of Ruth, its entire process I think took about 3 years, and the one I'm writing, wow, it's been a long time coming. I think I finished draft 0 2 years ago, then I scrapped it entirely, revamped its plot twice. It's a lot. That's all the books that I'm working on and have worked on. How I started out. Guys, I forgot a whole book that I wrote. This is like 2 years ago, I think, and it's called These Title Tunes. It's a YA fantasy retelling of The Little Mermaid, and I'm not gonna get too much into that because I've done nothing with it. It's just I finished it, I put it inside my documents, and it's been rotting there ever since. If I had any advice for anyone in general who's interested in writing, write a book. It's gotten me over 50k worth of scholarships, you can earn from it. It's just a cool fun fact to have. In secondary school, I brought and read my own book for assembly. For scholarships, of course, there are other considerations, but in my experience, it's been so beneficial, came up at least half a dozen times in interviews, and I owe a lot to it. If you love writing, it will come very easily to you, and it's one of those things that will help you in stages of your life even if you least expect it. And I say writing comes easily to you in the sense that it's not stressful, you enjoy it as a hobby, and you can do it purely for the love of the game. And if this is your first video by me, you can take this as like an introduction. I'm hoping to document my journey as a Singaporean trying to chase one of my biggest dreams, which arguably is every author's dream, to be published by one of the big 5 publishing houses. And if you're up to support me, get my book, follow along through the ups and downs, I'll be eternally grateful.